Hey guys and gals, Xavier here for Hum of the Earth, signing in from the very northeast of Zimbabwe. We're maybe less than 10 kilometers away from the border at this point. And today I'm very excited because it's new country time. Mozambique. I have a good feeling about this. Something tells me that we're gonna have fun, or at the very least it's going to be interesting. But first, let's cross the border. Easy stamp out of Zimbabwe. Now for Mozambique. $50 US poorer, and we're now in Mozambique. So Mozambique is our first Portuguese speaking country. So if you're familiar with the channel, you'll know that I've spent a decent amount of time in Latin America. So I do have the ability to speak a certain level of Spanish. And I've heard that if you speak Spanish and you're speaking with someone who speaks Portuguese, that you two should be able to eventually come to an understanding, given that the two languages are similar. Spain and Portugal are right next to each other after all. Bom dia. Vieni tu? Some kind of ritual dance there. Looks pretty cool. Good you. Mozambique. Still hear the music going on over there. Doing better than it once had. Up until I think the 90s, Mozambique had been in a 30-year civil war. And in fact, the corridor that we're going to be going through in this video, so from Zimbabwe to Malawi, was a highly contested area, maybe the most in the war, because this part kind of connects Mozambique to Zimbabwe, Malawi, and Zambia. So a very strategic location. So buen día. So we've made it to the town of Chikara, where I've found a room. Guy led me deep into the village for the room. It's gonna be a challenge just to make it actually back to where the shops and restaurants are, but must do what we must do to get something to eat. Really been enjoying my interactions with the people I've met so far, and I feel like I've noticed a difference. I know it's early impressions, but differences with the people of Zimbabwe, which in my estimation seem to typically, well, be more mellow, and the people here, and which is great, but the people here are a little bit, for lack of a better term, spicier, just a bit more upbeat maybe. And in fact, the cuisine here is spicy, which is atypical in Africa. And I believe that's a remnant of the fact that Mozambique was a important stop on the spice trade. Kind of a midway point between... Hola, buen dia. A midway point between European nations like Portugal and India. So they have to go around Africa, then they would stop in Mozambique. In fact, Isla Mozambique, a small island further northeast in the country, is the first European settlement in Africa. So a lot of interesting history in Mozambique for sure. Zambezi River, passing through the middle of the city of Tete. Seems like there's a road closure here, at least for cars. Hopefully I can get through. Probably can. So far, so good. So I quite enjoyed my brief stint in the city of Tete. It kind of looked like what Maputo had been described to me. Kind of a rustic, colorful architecture, old buildings. Kind of like in Portugal, which I've actually been to. There's definitely some similarities, which makes sense given that Mozambique's a former colony of Portugal. And I'm still getting a kick out of hearing Africans speak Portuguese for some reason. Seems novel to me. Also, it felt good spending some time at the bar, speaking Spanish again, making some new friends who bought me beer even though I'd already purchased some, so I ended up drinking a little bit more than I should have. And there was some dire consequences. When I went back to my room, I went to shower. I wanted to listen to music in the shower, and my phone fell from a high place, and it will never be the same. Last night it just completely didn't work, the screen. And this morning sort of works, but there's also a ghost tapping my screen in various places while I'm using it. Which is frustrating, but maybe not as frustrating as when I tried to buy a new phone in Colombia because I didn't have Colombian ID. So I'm going to hold off for now from getting one, especially since I have limited metique, the currency here in Mozambique, and I don't really want to take out some more. Because today should be our last full day in Mozambique as we attempt to ride about 130 kilometers to the border with Malawi. So let's try to soak in as much Mozambique as we can. So after having something small to eat this morning, I wasn't really feeling good enough to eat anything the rest of the day. Except for a few energy drinks, which I don't recommend as something you should take when your stomach hurts, but I couldn't think of any other way of getting a little energy in me. So that, combined with the fact that my phone has been unable to play music, has made for a slow-paced day. Not feeling very strong, but did manage to make it about so far 90k. So we're still 40 kilometers away from the Zobu border town, where I could have gotten a nice shower and bed to sleep in, but it does not look like we're gonna make it. So time to figure something out. So yesterday, as it was starting to get dark, I asked some women walking along the highway if it was safe to camp in the bush around here, and they quickly said no. So I kept on bicycling. I also asked them if there's anywhere that was safe to camp, and they didn't really have any suggestions. Hoping maybe they would offer that I could camp where they lived, but that didn't happen. So I kept on bicycling until I ran across this police station here, where I asked if I could camp, thinking it would be a good idea. He said, sure, you can just camp in front here. And then soon there was a crowd of at least 30 people just watching me put up my tent rather, which made me kind of feel like a wimp. Made me feel like I looked kind of scared of the people here. It's actually my first time camping at a police station, because previously in Latin America I'd heard stories about police corruption and stuff like that. And actually, as I was asking the police officer here, I remember hearing on a podcast that the police in Mozambique tend to fish for bribes when stopping people for minor traffic infractions, but this was a different situation, so nothing too bad happened. Despite being exhausted, I didn't really sleep that well. But it's only about 30 k's until Malawi now, and a few mountains in the way. We're now a stone's throw away from the border, where we'll be ending our journey through Mozambique. Definitely really liked it. Really enjoyed my interactions with the people. Nice landscapes. Weather was a little bit hot, but survivable nonetheless. And I'd even go as far as to say that for the 3 days that I was here, that it was worth the $50 visa for my 3 days here. So I just got stamped out of Mozambique, and we are now headed to the Malawi border post, where our journey will continue. But next on the channel will be a video of the city of Tete in Mozambique. Got some pretty awesome footage walking around the city. Pretty unique looking city in my opinion. So that's definitely worth checking out. And then we'll begin our journey through Malawi. I'm going in a little dark because I haven't been connected in a few days to the internet, that is. But I'm coming here for a reason. I've gotten numerous recommendations for visiting Malawi, despite the fact that it is among the poorest countries in the world. So it should be an interesting time, and we're already getting a preview here of maybe some of the level of scenery that we'll be seeing in Malawi. So that should get your attention enough for that video. So this bicycle ride through Mozambique was a short segment in my grander journey, bicycling from Cape Town, South Africa, all the way to Cairo, Egypt. Before that, I bicycled from Canada, where I'm from, all the way to southern Patagonia in Argentina, and all those videos are available on this same YouTube channel, Hum of the Earth. And if you'd like to see an interactive map of everywhere that I've been and everything that I got to see and do, I have that available over at my website, followthehumoftheearth.com, where you can click on the different locations and see the blog posts and videos I've made of these places. And if you'd like to follow my continuing adventures bicycling through Africa, you can do so by clicking on the red subscribe button below the video and clicking on the bell to be notified when new videos come out. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good one.